about the map makers as the week goes by and as we learn more about their maps as well. So this is a challenge number 1 map where the main bases are close by air but further apart by ground is the plan. The main base is huge, says puCK, and wow, it is, isn't it? It's like a spaceship. Look, it's like the entire screen while zoomed out. You could have an entire game in here. You just spawn one player over here, spawn one player over there, call it a rush map, put a gold in the corner, boom. You got another map for the map contest just in the main base. Top left-hand side, our blue Protoss player from Root Gaming is puCK. And going up against puCK is the red Protoss from Asterion in the upper right-hand side of the map. This, my friends, is Harstem. Again, I hope you're all having a great day so far. Thank you so much for joining me. Hope you're all having fun. Hope you're all having a good time. Hope you're all enjoying the StarCraft 2 so far as we take you through this map contest tournament. Very excited to bring you guys the action, and again, just a pleasure to be working with Blizzard and Team Liquid once again to be able to bring this tournament. I would like to take just a quick moment here before we just look around, just say as well an apology that the announcement for this tournament wasn't really made until literally last night or today. I know a lot of people just didn't realize this was happening. Something I really couldn't announce until Blizzard confirmed it. I didn't really get confirmation for a long time. It was really just one of those things where communication fell apart amongst all parties, and unfortunately, no one's really at fault in particular. It was just something that everything was just a bit last minute here. So I'm sorry that you guys may have not known this tournament was happening until maybe even just now as you're tuning in. But I'm so glad you're here now. I'm so glad you're here to catch the games. And we're here all week long with the map contest tournament. Tomorrow we'll be starting a bit earlier, starting through the day. But Thursday and Friday we'll be starting in the evening once again. Saturday and Sunday start time to be confirmed. Now it is PvP once again, so 2 gates apiece to get us started here on Stasis. Again, no shenanigans such as neutral turrets or anything along those lines. And we do have, I think, King's Cove for our second map of this series, which is going to be very exciting as well. I believe that's one of the macro maps. It's by Sidian the Bard, another map maker whose name rings many bells. So yeah, excited to see how this gets going, how this goes in terms of the series in general, because two different maps. 2 different maps. Going to be interesting to watch. Again, if you're interested in how this contest works, essentially the map makers submit their maps through the submission phase. The maps then get judged. Over 150 maps, I believe, entered this time. So 150 maps get brought down to 16 by the judges, which consists of pro players and community members. And from there we have our 16 maps which enter the tournament phase. In the tournament phase, the players play on the maps to kind of get the map makers a chance to see the maps in action, let the public see the maps, and it gives the player, then it gives the map makers a chance to go away and fix up their maps and make changes as they see fit, which is called the iteration phase. After the iteration phase is the voting phase, and that voting phase obviously is where you guys get to vote on which maps you think should win the TLMC number 11. All these maps have already won money by making it into making it in as a finalist, but bonus money on the line for the maps which make the top 5 positions. As that is an air blocker, unfortunately, Harstem. His Oracle, though, is actually going to sneak around the Phoenix because of it in a cheeky little way. I didn't actually know this was an air blocker. So an air blocker up the top. Stalkers currently from puCK coming across. Now Harstem's ahead on economy. Now this map is huge, by the way. It's kind of insane. As you do see the Oracle flying in, the Phoenix is out of position, so this Oracle will get damage done. Stalkers at the front, working their way through this pylon. Harstem thinks about going high ground, decides he can kind of deal with this for the moment. puCK is already down to just 14 probes. Oh man, puCK is actually hurting quite a bit here. He's down to 10 workers, and well, those Stalkers are just not going to last. The Phoenix came home to deal with the Oracle. Now Harstem has had another warp in. Now he has the Stalker count to survive, and unfortunately puCK has just fallen apart here in these early stages. Another couple of Stalkers warping in for Harstem, gathering together. We are going to be seeing a couple of these Phoenix up in the skies from puCK, thinking about moving forwards too. 2 more shield barriers. Harstem knowing he's dealt so much damage here that he just has to survive. That's all he has to really do. And well, he's going to pull probes in to help out. The Phoenix obviously lifting a couple of these Stalkers initially. Harstem will be outnumbered slightly because of that, but in the end he does just have a little bit too much. And Stasis goes to the top left-hand side, our blue Protoss player. This is puCK. Lost the first map to Harstem already. As the bottom right-hand side, our red Protoss player from Asterion is Harstem. Probes being chrono boosted out here to get things started. A gateway being thrown down. So a gateway on each side of the map. And obviously still expecting a second gate likely to come in. Let's look around the map a little bit, shall we? So, again, main base a bit pretty regular. Pretty safe as well, considering your natural down over here and your third base over here will generally be protecting the main base. The bigger issue is probably the idea of the fact that these bases are a bit more exposed. This natural is very droppable. You can't walk across here, so it is only droppable, but the Liberator's air-based unit here, very powerful on the natural. There's third base siegeable from the low ground as well, so definitely some very aggressive positions you have to worry about here on King's Cove. That said, it seems absolutely enormous. So, I mean, compared to Battle on the Boardwalk, this nice small map with that cheeky pathway across the top, here's Sidney Labard's next creation, which is just huge, isn't it? And, well, maybe that's what puts this map as a macro map. Maybe that's what allows this map to have a siegeable third base, right? You might think, well, siegeable third, everyone's just going to kill the third every time. Terrans are just going to destroy me. But if it takes forever for the Terran to get across the map, it creates a very different feel when that siege arrives and how that works out, as we do see this probe of Harstem popping into the main base, having a scout around and looking to see just what is going on. Warp gate will start from puCK as we see this probe running around and chasing that probe away. Again, warp gate thrown down each side of the map. A couple of stalkers currently being produced as this pylon will be placed on the low ground as well. And, well, again, 2 stalkers on the way up on each side. Warp gate coming up on each side of the map as we get this set to go. Again, Probe Harstem scanning around here. Just trying to keep track of the information in the early stages. puCK will throw down a Stargate. Harstem didn't see that, so it was just out of range as that probe finally went down, finally got annihilated here. A couple of stalkers going to head on up towards the upper right-hand side. So Harstem in a bit of an, I guess, just checking for proxies at the moment, looking around the place. He has just been purely producing gateway units now. More stalkers coming up as his Nexus will drop. So still waiting to see what his tech choices are going to be. At this stage, a Robo is very common, obviously, to start getting Immortal up. Sometimes you see the Twilight Council for Blink. I feel like if you go for a Sentry, an Immortal, hence the Robo, is a lot more of a common way to approach this. But it is going to be the Twilight Council, so the Sentry is useful in all circumstances. The Hallucination can provide scouting. Obviously, it can get energy for Force Field too, which can be very good defensively if you have a faster expansion coming into play. Stalker's moving around to the right side here. Another Stalker off down to the south, looking around as well. And we will see that Phoenix production on the way up here. Now, one Phoenix is already coming out and starting to head down towards the bottom right-hand side. The second Phoenix is coming along as well, so 2 Phoenix coming up. Twilight Council will start the blink for Harstem. So that's underway. And the Robo facility drops down in the main base as well. Probe's currently being chronoed, and this Phoenix is going to get pushed away off over to the left-hand side, so Phoenix pushed back already. Yeah, Nexus on the natural is going to be finishing up as we do see the Robo in the main base of puCK also starting up as well at the moment. So this Robo coming in also now. Both sides then very similar. I mean, puCK not really getting much use out of his Stargate though. He has a few Phoenix. We'll get to see what exactly they are going to get up to. So just going to get these coming along. How are you supposed to wall the natural? With the rocks, I suppose, right? Building gap. I don't know. I'm not a good Pro player. I can't figure it out exactly, but it's not that crazy, right? I think it's pretty normal. If the rocks get taken down, it's a different circumstance, but 2,000 health rocks shouldn't be an issue right from the get-go, I imagine. If someone's there for long enough to do 2,000 damage, you probably have time to react and figure it out, I'd imagine. Anyways, do you see these Phoenix heading towards the upper left-hand side? Blink is about halfway done. And we do see the Twilight Council is about to finish up as well in the next few moments. Another gateway dropping in the main base. And we set ourselves into the next little stage of this. Again, Blink will be finishing up very shortly. And another assimilator just being thrown down here on the natural. Now we do see this Forge on the way up at the front too. So getting Harstem in towards this macro-focused game. Kind of where he wants to be, it feels like, as this Observer will just pop out of the observing mode and start heading in towards the upper side of the map instead. And again, more of these Phoenix just heading down towards the bottom right. Again, they haven't really done a lot this game. A couple of probes killed. One of them was just from a Stalker or two. Not really sure what the second probe got killed by, but again, I mean, you don't really want to make too many more Phoenix than this, I guess, in a lot of circumstances. As, again, forward from both players. Harstem's just a step ahead in most regards here. A few extra Stalkers, and this is all because he didn't have a Stargate. A few extra Stalkers, his Blink's done faster, his Forge is done a bit quicker as well. He can go to charge already. Very slight differences. He'll start the third Nexus sooner. The one difference he doesn't have in his favor is this Immortal, already on the way from puCK. And also, if puCK can retain these Phoenix, yes, they might not have done a lot so far, but they can still be useful in a fight. You imagine a fight where Harstem has 1 or 2 Immortals. Boom, they both get lifted by Phoenix. They're out of the fight already, so these Phoenix still have a role to play. And that's why puCK's been very cautious with them, because he'd rather keep them alive and keep them ready to fight further than to... Yeah, he'd rather keep them alive and ready to fight further than to just throw them away, killing a couple probes, because he probably feels there's more value to be had here than just a couple of probe kills in such a macro-oriented kill game where, yeah, I mean, 2 or 3 probes is always nice to kill, but I think the ability to lift up 2 key units in a fight, or 3 key units in a fight, is way, way more valuable. Overbay drops down from puCK off to the side. We do see another couple of gateways starting to build up here, so both players tacking up. The Robobay is something that we don't see though from Harstem, as the Phoenix do find an opportunity to dive in. 4 probes killed, although 1 Phoenix very narrowly goes down. puCK probably going to play Disruptors here, in which case Harstem might even think about a Stargate of his own for his own Phoenix to play against that. Generally you get the Phoenix up because they can lift up Disruptors as they fire, cancelling their shots, and obviously making it so that the Disruptors are essentially just dead weight in the army. So that's obviously usually pretty nice to see happening. There's a few probes pulling over to this third base once again. Phoenix are again being pushed around. A couple more High Templars on the way through. Charge coming up. Archon and an Immortal coming in now as well. Disruptor from puCK starting up in production. So he starts to get this Disruptor on the way. These few Phoenix flying up the left-hand side in toward the main base. And the +2 attack upgrade from Harstem being chrono boosted as well. So chrono boosting out his +2 here at the moment, as you see Stalkers, Immortals and Sentries, all of this from puCK gathering together. Meanwhile, on the other side, Harstem just getting his army ready to go as well. 55 army supply and a +1 attack upgrade. He is ready to go. puCK, meanwhile, this Observer, moving down to the south. And a few more Zealots just warping in as well. So it is going to be an interesting kind of clash of compositions here. There's more traditional kind of Archon Charge Lot Immortal comp versus the older school kind of hops into the meta now and again Disruptor play style. And as you will see those Disruptors coming out in the next few moments. Now a few Phoenix are going to head in towards the side of this base here in just a few moments. Thinking about coming in and picking up a few probes, but Stalker's already nearby. Cannon as well, just so you get some consistent damage out if that starts to happen. Harstem's looking to attack, and he will be able to hit with a +2 attack upgrade, where he'll be 1 upgrade in the lead, so something that's a possibility here. Look at all these coins. You guys point out in chat, we could be rich. Guys, never mind playing StarCraft 2, let's just grab the coins and run! Let's go! Let's get out of here! For our game, there's no need to win if they just pick up the coins. Well, 4 Disruptors on the high ground makes it difficult for Harstem to attack into. Remember, this map comes from the macro category. And by coming from the macro category, it enables you to really be this kind of map... it enables this kind of lack of ability, I suppose. It disables the ability, I should say. As I fight myself to find some words. It disables the ability of Harstem to just run up here and fight into the third base. It's meant to be an easy free bases as one of the Phoenix gets taken down. At this point, I mean, the Phoenix have been dying off for a long time, and, you know, there's not really much they can do now. If you come into a fight with a lot of Archons, there's a fine line where the Phoenix are still useful in a fight. As we will see this fight starting up. Disruptor shot won't connect just yet. But yes, Harstem can't attack in and kill the free base. What's interesting is puCK expands to the 4th on the left side. I wouldn't have immediately thought that 4th base on the left side is the one you'd go to. You know, you have a base down here you can take, a one over here. I wonder if he's just kind of wanted to somewhat hide it away. You can see Harstem takes this base down from his own 3rd, right? So that makes a little bit more sense, taking the base down over here. I guess it's something to do... I don't know, actually. I don't know. I mean, I can understand not taking this forward base, because then a very forward attack takes you down, so usually this one is actually easier to defend. But this one over here is just odd. Well, here we go. Force Field comes down, gets a Stalker or two. Those immortal shots are absolutely crazy. Immortal shots just so powerful against Stalkers, as we do see a couple of shots going off. A Stalker getting taken down right there. Disruptors underneath an Observer at the moment, and we do just see the clipped Zealots getting taken down. One Zealot charging forwards, a Disruptor being chased, you will see. This Warp Prism taking a few shots. Phoenix going to jump on towards that Warp Prism as well. Doesn't go down, but the Archons are somewhat stranded. The Prism really just nowhere it can go. So the Archons left here to fight. Getting a few probes, getting a few splash damage, but that's about it. Unsuccessful for Harstem, as we now see puCK. He's going to be the aggressor, starting to push on through and forwards into this position on the south side. Now Phoenix do come in, and we are going to see some Disruptors being lifted, cancelling a lot of these shots. It disables a lot of puCK's army, because now these Disruptors are just dead weight in the army. They're not doing anything. They're getting picked off as well as the Phoenix keep them up in the skies. And well, these next 3 Disruptors should be getting ready to go, but puCK blicks on top of Harstem's army as well. A few more Zealots charging in. Harstem with the Phoenix is really unable to do much with them, though. They're out of energy, and puCK looks as though he might have just broken through this. Wow. That's absolutely crazy as we see those Stalkers continuing to pressure their way through this Nexus. As this Nexus falls, well, that's pretty much going to be it for Harstem, perhaps, because now, I mean, okay, losing your 4th isn't game ending, but boy, is it difficult, because, okay, he starts the Phoenix to shut down the Disruptors, but look at the number of Stalkers that puCK has right here. Looks like puCK and Harstem are going to end up going 1-1 against each other. Again, we don't play third games today. It's 2 maps played against each other. It's not best of 3. It's 2 maps played versus every other player in the bracket. As you will see, these Zealots continue to charge on forwards. Stalkers pushed back by the Disruptor shot. It's a GG, and puCK will find himself his first point of the day. Harstem and puCK